Pam Bondi got fired. Ooh, you lied for that man. Ooh, you hid evidence. Ooh, you begged for your job after you got fired. Ooh.
Sources confirm your vibe was weird, and yes, everyone felt it.
Hey, is this Pam Bondi? It's GA Fabo. How you doing today? Donald Trump said, "You're fired."
Pam Bondi got fired? Interesting. I want to say I'm sad about it, but I am not at all. Finally. But the fact that she got replaced with another mediocre white man is just very fitting in this country right now. And if you are one of those disenfranchised white men that are upset about what I'm saying, you're probably the problem.
Trump let go of Pam Bondi allegedly because he didn't like the way she was handling the Epstein files and because he didn't like the way she was handling his critics of him. Hey y'all, this is Foxy. Do you think there's more to Trump firing Pam Bondi, or do you think he just let her go because of those two reasons?
And after all of that lying, sneaking, keeping his name out the records, just straight up bootlicking, really, you still got fired. Have y'all not realized that anybody that is around Trump, a Trump loyalist, either gets fired or goes to jail? Nothing good ever comes out. Nothing good ever happens. It's going to be over soon. It's going to be over, like, already. 2 of them are already gone. And it's just been a year. Like, it's coming to an end. Bye, Pam.
This is not a surprise to anyone that has been watching. We knew that she was unqualified for this position, but I find the timing very, very interesting, and I think that's something that we need to pay attention to. Pam Bondi had been subpoenaed by the House Oversight Committee to talk about the handling of the Epstein files. Now she's out of a job. Just like Kristi Noem, they never should have been in those positions, and they were placed there. But what we do see is the women are always the first to go. It doesn't matter how loyal you are to this administration. When it's time to get rid of people, the women are the first to go, and he's making an example of them. So who will be taking over Pam Bondi's role as Attorney General? It will be Todd Blanche right now in the interim. So this is going to be interesting, but let's keep in mind the timing of this and why she was displaced from her role.
Y'all, Donald Trump just fired Attorney General Pam Bondi. It's so crazy how the cycle always works. Donald Trump has people do his dirty work and then he gives them the boot. Pam Bondi covered up those Epstein files the best she could, went out of her way to redact his name, broke all types of laws, did all that shit, and what is she gonna do? She's fired. I'm not exactly sure why he fired her. The report just said he was getting frustrated with her in recent days and this led to him firing her. He may just give her a different role, but she is out as Attorney General. And this happening just a couple weeks after he fired Kristi Noem, I feel like he does not play with the women in this administration. Like, you can be a man and fuck up all the time, but if you are a woman, girl, count your days if you start pissing him off.
Year and 2 months, the Attorney General has officially been fired. Pam Bondi has been let go of her position. Now, we all know we can't get too excited about this because what always happens? He fires one terrible person and then just hires another terrible person. But I think we all could have saw that this was coming. I think we all should have known that this was coming. But I do want to say it's very interesting that he's only firing the women of his administration. 2 of the top women of his administration now, Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem, of course, are gone now from their positions that they held. He's not touching any of the men, even though the men are just as incompetent. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to say a win is a win. So let that be your political news.
Yeah, so family, there's a certain kind of silence that comes after power is taken away. And right now, that silence is surrounding Pam Bondi in a way she probably never expected, because when you build your voice on authority, when you stand confidently behind systems that have historically ignored or harmed certain communities, you don't always think about what happens when that same system turns its back on you. And now now that she's reportedly being pushed out by Donald Trump, what we are witnessing isn't just political fallout, family. It's something deeper, something emotional, and something very telling about how power actually works in America. Black Americans in particular are not reacting with shock. They're not even reacting with sympathy. Instead, what we are seeing across social media is a wave of sharp, unapologetic clapbacks. People pointing out the irony, the contradiction, and even what they see as long overdue accountability. And to understand this reaction, family, you have to understand history, not just headlines, because this isn't just about one moment. It's about a pattern. For years, Pam Bondi positioned herself as someone aligned with structures of authority that many Black Americans have openly criticized, systems tied to policing, to justice, and even to political loyalty, systems that have often felt distant or even hostile to marginalized communities. So now, seeing her on the receiving end of political dismissal, many people are asking a simple but powerful question: where was this energy when others were being pushed aside, ignored, or even silenced? And that's where the emotional weight of this story really sits, because to some, this isn't just about her losing a position. It's about what that loss represents. It's about watching someone who once stood firmly within the walls of power suddenly finding themselves outside of it. And for communities that have historically lived outside those walls, there's a sense of recognition, but not necessarily compassion. And what makes this even more intense is the role Donald Trump plays in all of this, because Trump's political style has always been unpredictable, transactional, and even at times ruthless. And so loyalty in that world often comes with an expiration date. And what we are seeing now is a reminder that proximity to power does not usually guarantee protection from it. In fact, sometimes it makes the fall even harder. So when Black Americans respond with phrases like, "Now you feel it," it's not just mockery, it's commentary. It's a reflection of years of frustration, of feeling unheard, and of watching decisions being made that affect their lives without their voices being centered. And it's a reaction rooted in lived experience, not just political opinion. And so here's where things get even more complex, family, because while some people see this as justified pushback, others see it as a moment that exposes a deeper divide in America, one where empathy is often shaped by experience. And when people feel like the experiences have been dismissed for long, their reactions in moments like this they really become sharper, they become less forgiving, and even more direct. And as an African observer looking at this from the outside, family, there's something striking about how openly those tensions play out in American society. In many ways, it reveals a country still grappling with its identity, its power structures, and even its sense of justice. And moments like this, family, where a figure like Pam Bondi falls from favor, become more than just political news. They become symbols of shifting power, of accountability, and even of unresolved tension. Because at the end of the day, family, this isn't just about Pam Bondi, it's about what happens when the system you defend no longer defends you. It's about the illusion of stability within power structures that are constantly changing. And it's about the voices that have been waiting, sometimes patiently, sometimes not, to say, "We told you so." And maybe that's the real takeaway here, family. Not the drama, not the headlines, but the underlying message that power in America is never as secure as it seems. That alliances can shift overnight, and that the reactions we are seeing now aren't just about one person. They're about years of built-up emotion finally finding an outlet. Because when people say, "Now you feel it," what they're really saying is, this is what it's like. And for many, that realization is long overdue.